How much of the current men's rights movement, which are associated with hate groups, only have oxygen because leftists don't take that space? No, I don't think it's because leftists don't take that space. Here's what I think about leftists not being able to quote unquote take up space. If you are on the left, on the political left, you are not being represented by party politics. You're not being represented by the liberal media ecosystem. You are, as a matter of fact, considered antagonistic to both the left flank of media. This isn't to say that they're leftists, liberals, right? And certainly considered public enemy number one to the right flank of the media. This creates an environment where you're catching it from both ends and you're just basically on an island by yourself. Right-wingers, no matter how far right they are, can still be elevated by and represented by the right flank of media. That's the difference. This is precisely the reason why you don't see a lot of like leftist commentary in these spaces. Right-wing commentary, no matter how far right, still gets elevated all the way up to Fox News. There is a closeness to what even someone like Nicholas Fuentes is saying with someone like the Fox and Friends people. You know what I mean? Like they are on the same, one might be a little bit more extreme than the other, right? But overall, their worldview is close to one another. There's a closeness to it. Whereas for liberals don't want even basic social safety net expansion. Like liberals in the media, by design, as a consequence of their job, as a consequence of like what their role is in society, do not even want to present modest expansion of these social safety nets. And this is precisely the reason why people like Tucker Carlson get to flood the marketplace with commentary on Gaza, for example. Anti-Zionists who are on the left, anti-imperialist, anti-Zionists, have been talking about this issue for decades, myself included. But the most prominent voices in American discourse right now, American political discourse right now on what Israel is doing in Gaza are all right-wingers, and that is by design. The reason why it's all right-wingers isn't just because like the media wants or is more comfortable with right-wing voices as opposed to like leftist voices. That plays a role in it. But I think like that major motivation from even liberal outlets in general that will every now and then with sympathetic people that work in places like NPR, like such as this interview, right? They'll drip feed people like myself into these top rosters and my worldview into these like platforms. But I will never have the same placement as like Scott Jennings or someone who has my politics will never have the same consistent placement on liberal outlets in a way where even like the Podjohns can get it. You will never see Tucker Carlson's position on Israel on Fox News. Yes, but also Tucker Carlson came from Fox News, right? Like he is the perfect example of this, where like he already is an OG Fox News demon. He is a Fox News manufactured creation. Like they made Tucker Carlson. They gave him the largest platform he could possibly have. And then he took that influence and he took that platform and now he can do stuff on the independent side. And he still carries a lot of weight with his voice. This is what happens. This is usually what happens. This is how right-wing voices are so much more prominent than left-wing voices, even on the independent media side. Many of the right-wing voices are also directly funded by the same institutional donors to the Republican Party because there's an ideological commitment to a project. I talk about this all the time, but it's like, if you want to do a real left-wing broadcast, it has to be grassroots, because no institutional donor is ever going to fund a media initiative that revolves around dismantling a system that they benefit from, a system that they have designed, a system that they are purposefully participating in. Like, what billionaire is going to be like, I'm going to give $100 million to a guy that says billionaires shouldn't exist? That's not going to happen. Leftist voices have to create a grassroots movement. There are not that many Engelses out there, is what I'm saying. Okay. It's not common. And the closest you can get to that is a guy like George Soros. And his foundation is not leftist at all. It's very much liberal. And liberalism is always going to be antagonistic to leftist values and leftist politics. When push comes to shove and there's an issue that hurts their bottom line, liberals are going to openly present the left as an antagonist, openly present the left and left momentum as a spoiler.